So, email marketing, you want to learn how to do this faster, but there are some things that you will want to stop doing right now so that you can master email marketing and start to connect with your audience, nurture, and sell to your audience. If you want to learn all of that, stick around because I'm going to walk you through a stop do list based on what female coaches and course creators should be focusing on when it comes to email marketing. We have got a stop do list that we are going to go through right now. And these are the things that you are probably doing without thinking about it, or worse than anything else, is probably because somebody else told you to do it. So, number one on the stop list is content upgrades. This was something that was rolled out in around, I want to say 2016, 2017. I remember some guru coming on and saying, every single blog post that you publish needs to have a content upgrade. Basically, what they were saying is that every single blog post that you publish needs to have a freebie attached to it. And I jumped on that bandwagon. And for, I don't know, a solid 3 months, every time I made a blog post and published it, I created a new content upgrade. Not something you want to be doing, particularly in 2025 anymore. So you want to stop content upgrades. And then number two is editing. And what I mean by that is over editing your emails, spending all your time in perfectionism. In other words, procrastinating on hitting send on that email. You don't need to be super perfect when it comes to the editing of your emails. If you are using something like a Google Doc or a Microsoft Word document to write your emails first, the grammar check in there is enough. That's it. You don't need to run it through an AI tool. You don't need to throw it into Grammarly or anything like that. Just roll with whatever is easiest for you to do. If you over edit, it's not going to sound like you, which is something that we are going to want to ensure we do over on the do list. So that's number two. We want to stop over editing. And then number three is all about shiny objects. And what I mean by that is not focusing on your email marketing, making it just one of the things that you tick off on your to-do list, and instead chasing a whole bunch of shiny objects because somebody said this is the latest and greatest way to get people into your world and to start selling to them. It's also probably because you're trying to do a whole bunch of stuff on social media. You're trying to write a blog post, you're trying to do a podcast, you're probably posting 5 to 10 times a day across your social media platforms. Who has time to even worry about email marketing? Totally get that, which is why shiny objects, you want to focus instead of spreading yourself thin. Number four, over here, is fluff. And what I mean by that is sending an email just for the sake of sending an email and just putting a whole bunch of fluff in it. Now, I will raise my hand and say that I have done this on occasion because I felt like I had to send an email. Now, yes, I'm all about ensuring that you're sending multiple emails a week, 3, 4, 5 daily if you want, but not if it's going to be full of fluff. That is the fastest way to get a whole bunch of people to unsubscribe from your email list. So stop with the fluff. If you don't have anything to say, then don't send it, right? You definitely don't want to do that. And then number four is quitting, right? In other terms, you might call it ghosting, where you are, you've started building an email list. You've got people in your email platform, but you haven't spoken to them since your welcome sequence went out. That's it. They heard from you and 30 days have gone and they haven't heard beep from you. What's even worse, and part of the quitting component here, is that we then turn around and revive our email list by sending them a salesy email. And then that in turn has us getting a whole bunch of unsubscribes. And then we just quit because we're like, this email marketing shebang is not working. There is a reason why that's not working. So now that we've gone through all the things that you want to stop doing when it comes to your email marketing, let's talk about all the things that you actually want to be doing. So let me see if I can get this thing. I've got to learn how to use this properly. So we want to start with strategic freebies. So, what is a strategic freebie? Basically, you want to reverse engineer from the offer suite that you have. And what I mean by that is, whenever you create a strategic freebie, it should point people to a paid offer. So that might mean you need 3 strategic freebies, but it doesn't mean that you need a strategic freebie for every single piece of content that you put out into the world. So always run it through that filter. If I'm creating a freebie, why am I creating it and where does it lead them? Right? We want to always be intentional about the things that we're putting out into the world. And then number 2 is your voice. And what I mean by that is when you are writing emails, write in your voice. It's the easiest way to write an email. And if you are not a writer, right? If you don't find it easy to write, then I'm going to hazard a guess and say that you're more of a speaker. Then did you know you can speak your emails really easily? So whatever tool you have on hand, whether it's your phone, whatever, I highly recommend that you just speak whatever it is that you want to say. Now, obviously, you need a bit of a prompt to get yourself started. So, the best prompt that I can recommend if you are struggling to get started with an email is just to recount what happened today and what lesson did you learn that you can then turn around and share with your audience. Which kind of brings me into point number 3 on our do list, which is storytelling. Tell more stories. And if you can lead into every email that you send out into the world, out to your audience with a story, your connection is going to go through the roof. You're also going to find that your open rate and click rates increase as long as you're giving them something to click on, right? No one's going to click if you're not giving them a link to click. But storytelling is where we can basically allow our person that we're trying to get in front of to see that we're a human being, right? We have real things. Now, that doesn't mean that you're sharing all the nitty gritty pieces of your life, but sharing something that will help them either understand a core concept that you talk about all the time or illustrates a point that you're trying to get across. So that's what I mean by your voice. And then we want to make sure that we nurture and sell. So following on from storytelling, when you tell a story, the next piece of that component is to then share the lesson and then to sell something that helps them embed that lesson into their life. So I have an entire framework called the Nurture and Sell framework. If you want more information about that, comment below with nurture and I will get you the link to that training. But in that Nurture and Sell framework, one of the core components of that is storytelling. And the more that you tell stories and then relate it back to your audience and then present them with the opportunity to buy something for you, how could you not be making daily sales? And then number 4 is all about reviewing data. Now, when I say data, I'm talking about what does your open rate look like? What does your click rate look like? What does your unsubscribe rate look like? And how many people are joining your world every single day. Those are the important metrics when it comes to email marketing, but also conversions, right? How many sales are you getting? Because at the end of the day, if you're not making money, then why are you emailing your audience, right? So it comes back to point number 4, nurture and sell, right? It's not exclusively nurture and don't sell, it's nurture and sell for a reason. And then you just want to repeat, rinse and repeat all the do stuff, not the stuff. Oh my goodness, I have got to figure this stuff out. It looks different when I'm looking at it. So you definitely want to repeat everything on the to do over here, right? Make sure that you're doing all of those pieces. Now, obviously, you don't need to do a strategic freebie because otherwise we're over here in content upgrade land. You just want to keep it simple and do what makes sense for you. And that's it. It's really, really simple if you want to learn email marketing faster than anybody else out there. And if you need more help on the email side of things, the video that is coming up on your screen right now is going to show you more around how you can create content that actually speaks to your target audience. I'll see you in that video.